There are 3 reasons why anybody ever does anything. These are the only 3 reasons. Any action you see somebody doing, any words you see somebody saying, it is only one of a potential 3 reasons that is the reason behind them actually doing that, including their relationship with someone. There's only one potential true sincere option, which we're going to talk about. But we're going to start from the back. We're going to talk about the 2 insincere options, the 2 wrong options. And so the first potential reason why somebody could be doing something is for others. This is where you give the homeless guy money because you basically want the crowd to like you. You want people to think, oh, he's a good guy, he helps people. Which could be many different people that you want to impress, or it could be one person. Maybe you want to impress your friend or a particular girl that you're interested in. And so you give the money to the homeless guy because you want a certain perception of you from other people. This is of course very obvious, and when most people say somebody is insincere, this is what they're talking about. But actually there's another way in which somebody can be insincere, and that is if they do it for themselves, which is very similar to the previous one, but they're not actually interested in other people's perceptions of them. They're interested in their own perception of themselves. And so maybe they give the money to the homeless person secretly, in a way that even the homeless person doesn't know where the money came from. Nobody knows where the money came from, but they themselves know where it came from. And they go home, and on their ride home, they feel a different way about themselves. Basically, they think, I'm a great guy, I'm so generous, something like this. They look in the mirror, they feel different. These are all things which a lot of people would not perceive as insincere. But of course, this is insincerity, because to do it for your own perception of yourself is still to do it for the perception, right? It's not actually honestly doing it. You're not doing it in truth because of what that action is. And so if you want to talk about true sincerity, you have to ask yourself the question, well, what is the action that I'm doing? What is that that's happening? Okay, so for example, I'm giving money to a homeless guy. Okay, what's going on? Where did the money come from? Where did that event come from? All of it is created by God. And this action which I'm doing is created by God. If it's me doing it sincerely, I'm actually doing it honestly, truthfully, then that is for the sake of God. It's the only potential honest and true action, because even if I tried my best to do it, it might not happen. So I don't actually control whether or not I will be able to give the money to that person. I can make my intention to do it, and maybe on my way to him I get hit by a bus, or maybe he dies on the way, or maybe the money for whatever reason gets taken by a bird out of my hands. So I don't actually control that action, and I don't create that action. So if I'm doing the action sincerely, that is in recognition, in truthfulness, understanding what that action is, which is a gift from God if I do it sincerely. Now, if I do it with the intention of the homeless guy thinking, oh, what a great guy he is, he must be like some special guy, and that's the reason why I'm doing it, this is not a gift from God, because, well, I'm actually earning punishment for that. That is haram. But if I do it sincerely with the correct intention in my heart, then this is a gift. And so it's a very interesting situation where you have basically 2 things which are kind of happening at the same time, because you're doing it sincerely is recognizing at the same time the truth of the matter, which is that you're not the one doing it. It's a very interesting situation indeed, but this is actually what is truth. What I do, if I'm doing something good, for me to get reward for that, I have to have the sincere intention. I have to do this for the sake of God, the one who created me, who gave me the capability to do this. My creator, the creator of the homeless man, the creator of the money, of my ability, of the very action of me giving the money. God is the creator of that action as well. This is actually the only possible way to do something sincerely, truthfully, honestly. This is the only potential option, of course, because if somebody is doing it for the sake of others, of course, they're not sincere. But a lot of people confuse the second one, which if we go back to that one, that is, for example, a mother caring for her child. More often than not, she's not doing it based on what other people think of her, but she herself would probably lose her mind if she were to kill her child. Let's say accidentally, because she didn't care for him and the baby accidentally got burned in a fire because she was busy on her phone. This would traumatize her for life, right? Of course, some mothers are doing it for the sake of God and they're sincere, but almost for sure, most mothers alive today are doing it because they have a perception of themselves. they would feel absolutely terrible about themselves if they didn't do that. And if they do take care of their child very well, it makes them feel amazing about themselves and what kind of mother they are. They have a real perception of themselves as what kind of mother I should be. And they think I should be a good mother, I should be a caring mother, all of these different things which need to align with their actions if they're going to continue to feel that way about themselves, which is honestly something which a lot of people struggle to come to terms with, to understand that really a lot of people are doing things for their own self-perception of themselves, and that is not actually sincerity. So maybe he's giving you a bunch of money, maybe he's there for you when you need him, maybe he's, putting his life on the line to protect you, and you're his friend and you think, wow, look at this guy. But if he's doing it for himself, because a lot of people, for example, in the context of protection, they have that perception of themselves. They think, well, if I have a friend and he's attacked and I don't jump in, they feel really wrong about themselves. And so they genuinely have a perception of themselves where they would prefer to be the person that jumps in and gets stabbed instead of the person that doesn't get stabbed but survives, because of their perception of themselves. It's not a deep enough perception if you think about people who run away from the stabbing and just think about them, oh, they're only thinking about themselves. Well, a lot of people who jump in to get stabbed in protection of their friends, they're also thinking about themselves. This is the truth. If you actually come to realize, you can look at your own intentions when you live your life, you can look at what you do, and you can ask yourself honestly, why did I actually do that? And so if you want to have the good solution, the only good solution is to be sincere for the sake of God to do that. And so of course the first core of that action, the foundation from where that action comes, is to be sincere, meaning you think about God, you think about your own existence, and then you make your decisions as to what to do from that. So obviously you cannot do something which is forbidden by God sincerely. It's impossible. So the foundation comes from, okay, what should I do? Okay, and then you do something for the sake of God, right? That's how the intention works. Of course, somebody can suggest something to you. Maybe someone asks you for help. You weren't planning to do this, but they ask you for help. But before you do the action, your perception of it will be, okay, this is something that I'm going to do in recognition of the fact that everything I have is given to me by God, and I want to behave beautifully in a certain kind of praising of God by helping this person. And so coming back to the question, what is love? Well, actually, a lot of people are going to answer that question differently, but it actually doesn't matter, because whatever you call love, and there will be different meanings and different feelings and ideas which are labeled all love by different people. The only thing which matters is what is true love, what is the actual real love. And this is very simple to answer now. The only potential answer is love which is for the sake of God, because that is the only true intention which exists. And so the only true honest intention is for the sake of God. And so including love, that is the only potential true love, right? The only, in a sense, true honest intention will be to love for the sake of God. Either you're loving that person for the sake of God or not. Could be for your own perception, for others' perception, but all of these other intentions, they're in this other category, not for the sake of God, which is of course not a proper love. So it could be for yourself, it could be for something other. And so even if he gives you a bunch of flowers, if he takes care of an animal, which is a young animal, he's saving it from danger, it's only true love if he's doing it for the sake of God. The Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, he said words, the meaning of which is that intentions and deeds are intertwined. The deeds themselves are dependent upon the intentions with which they were committed, and everyone will receive in regards to their intentions. In a sense, you could say that intentions are deeds, but of course, if you have a bad deed, which is, for example, forbidden, you go around, you massacre, kill people, and rape people, this of course is haram, and you cannot have a sincere intention while doing that. But if you talk about simply gifting someone an object, you give them some flowers, this could be good, this could be bad. It depends on your intention. And most of the things which we do in life are in this category, where they could be good, they could be bad. Depends on our intention. Is it sincere? Is it for the sake of God? Or is it so that somebody else thinks something of us, or we think something of us?